Esteemed audience, welcome to the Great Debaters Contest. We are in Nyeri region and we are hoping that the quality of the debates will be as high as the altitude up here. I am your host, Esperanza Kapanga.
And I am the vibrant Chris Buru. Scaling the mountain, that's the motion. Gender is a determinant on how we save. We have Chinga Girls High School proposing.
And we have St. Maria Goretti opposing the motion.
Who will get to the peak first?
Proposer number 1, you have 3 minutes.
Joy Kendi, from the great school with a dam, Chinga Girls High School, proposing the motion that says gender is a determinant on how we save. What is gender? Let me take my time and educate you. Gender is a fact, whether you are male or female. It is a socially defined, constructed definition of a male and female. It is determined by the roles and tasks given unto us. According to a research which was undertaken by some Chinese students in Thailand, they confirmed that 99% of all females have a positive attitude towards saving. Why do I say this? The way a female spends and saves, it's in our DNA. It can't be changed. In a volume 9 of 2013, a journal of a business organization, it states that most women tend to save their money, invest huge sum of amount of money in places where there are no risk involved as compared to men. That's why we find most women, they tend to save their money in small chamas and the village databases. This is where most ladies save their money as compared to men who put their money, in a wallet where it is possible for them to be pickpocketed where the money is. But what happens? They are risk takers. They put their money in their wallets, considering their risk-taking conditions. That's why most women tend to do the databases or the village banking, where there are no risk involved, and they can save even more. I have a friend by the name Maggie. Whenever we watch the television together, she opts not to stay with us when watching the television. She says, limiting yourself makes us grow small. She opts to look out the window and see the greater future. Gender is the greatest future we have in saving. Nothing can change what we all do. Gender is the way to go. Let's stop all these suckers and drama. My opposition, gender is a way to save. Nothing more can depict gender apart from gender itself. It's gender, nothing more of gender. Thank you.
First opposer, you have 3 minutes to present your case.
Wow. I guess today is the best day for me. I'm Irene Nyambura Maina from St. Maria Goretti, an independent woman also, sent by nature to bring my fellow opponents from fantasy to reality. So I'm here to oppose the motion that says gender is the determinant of how we save. So before I even begin, I'll begin by defining the words. What is gender? Gender is the sex you belong to, either male or female. What is determinant? Determinant is all factors that contribute to something. And what is to save? To save, it's avoiding unnecessary expenses. That is, storing something for future use. So before I even begin, I'll start by asking, men in the house, if we were to change this debating room to a contest room, who would win the contest? Is it the men or the women? Men in the house, is it the men or the women? What about the women? Is it the men or the women? I don't even understand why you're having this motion. It's already no offense. Again, I'll start by saying, if gender is not the determinant of how you save, then what? The first thing is the cost of living. The higher inflation, the higher the way of saving. The lower the inflation, the lower the way of saving. What I mean is, when the price of commodity increases, people will tend to save more. But the moment the price of commodity reduces, then the people will not save more. What does that mean? Like, I'll give you an example. When the price of the flour had increased, what was happening? People were tending to save more so that at least they have that flour by the end of the day. Again, we have what else determines is the age. the aged tend to save more. This is because they have more needs to complete. Again, if you check the young people will not save more. This is because they don't have more needs. So I don't even understand why these fellow opponents should try to tell us that gender should determine on the way we'll save. Again, look at the natural calamities. Those people in the Turkana cannot save the same way with us people in Kenya. I mean, with us people in Nyeri. Here in Nyeri, you will tend to save more than in Turkana. Reason being, there is semi-arid in Turkana, but here at least you have chances of saving more. So gender will never determine whether I'm a woman or not. If you check in the job occupation, if there's no way you can tell me that a house girl and engineer can save the same way. This is because they have different earnings. So the gender does not determine whether you are a man or a woman. What determines is what you are doing to save. Thank you.
Second proposer, you have 3 minutes for cross-examination.
To my friend over here, I'm saying thank you and thank you very much. You joined us. Gender is not defined as sex. Gender is the role, the attributes, and the functions that are given to women and men. Michelle Mumbi from Chinga Girls High School, proposing the motion that states gender is a determinant on how we save. Lusadi and Michelle pointed out that due to gender difference in information processing, it plays an important role in financial strategies. Okay, let's look at it this way. I am a mother, and I have 2 children. Because of my gender and because of my role, I have to uplift my children. So what will I do? I have the role as a woman to help my children, to help my husband, so I will save to uplift them. Also, Becker states that women rationally choose to invest less than men in human capital. Why? Women invest for short terms on expectation on having output. Women will save because they want to uplift their homes, themselves, and their family. But the men will save because what do they want? They want to acquire succession. Men save and women save. This affects us all. If you say gender does not affect how we save, you're being biased. You're lying to us. You say natural calamities. You're saying that because of the way we're living, you cannot save of your gender. Let me tell you something. I, myself, am woman. And I was taught one thing. You have to save. And I was also taught that you have to be yourself. Gender, my brother's gender taught him he has to save. My friends will tend to say that natural calamities, all that. But these natural calamities, they are affecting us as gender. So as a gender, I know there's a natural calamity and I will save. There are different reasons that men will save so that they can build themselves and the nation. Why? I can give you an example of a prominent man who saved because he wanted to outstand and to come out from his gender. We all know of Bill Gates. He did something so great and he did so much. So gender does affect how we save. Don't say about natural calamities. Don't say about security. Don't say that. Gender does affect. Thank you.
Second opposer, you have 3 minutes for cross-examination.
What a day that God has given me. I dreamt about this day last night, and I thought I was going to be the prosperous girl that I've dreamt to be since I was a little child. I'm Anne Wairimo Kamaitha from St. Maria Goretti, ready to oppose the motion that says gender is a determinant on how to save. I'm going to start with the modernity. In the olden days, we used to say that men can save more than the women. But now I can look at the list of the 20 billionaires. Now we can see that we have at least 2 women in the list. That we can see that women are taking their risk so that they can be able to save more money than the men. Okay, I have a question, and I need you people to answer me very, very well. In Kenya, is the government equalize the banks that we have? Do we have the banks for men, or do we have the banks for women? No, because they believe that we have women and men that can save at the both equality of money. I have a story here. When I look back at my home, I see my little brother and my little sister. They both want something, but in different terms. My brother wants a very beautiful CD that contains his favorite cartoons. But my sister wants a box of a doll that contains every dress and every design that it contains. But one thing my brother told me, that I always hear mom talking about the Equity Bank together with dad. What is all about the Equity Bank? Then I told my brother, you're going to ask them. But my mom gives them the both equal amount of money. But I ask myself, what are they going to do with it? Because they were taught responsibilities on how to save. I thought that they're going to save. Guess what happened? My brother started saving little by little. Then my sister started saving because she wanted the doll. At the end, my brother and my sister were able to get what they wanted. It is because it doesn't matter what gender you are. The key word here is how you're going to save. How you're going to save. So, hoping that you have come to understand about the motion, my other components. The other thing is about the equal income that we get. As we have been told, there's no way a doctor can earn the same as a conductor because they have equal income in their works. So I bet it's not all about gender. It's all about how you save your money. Thank you.
The proposers have been asked, don't they think that the charmers or self-help groups by the women are actually having disadvantages such as those learnt in business as embezzlement and corruption? The opposers have been asked, between men and women, who save more than the other? Proposer number 3, you have 3 minutes to answer the question.
To begin with, I'll answer the question on charmers. You know, it's so wrong that you're so negative. Does it mean because I'm saving in a charmer? Yes, there are risks, there are disadvantages, but on the same side, there are advantages. And considering a situation where so many people invest their money on something and lesser people, you tend to see that the many may lose, but the ones who are minimal may tend to save more, or maybe their money is at a safer place. From Our Lady of Fatima Chinga Girls is Evelyn Onjiko, proposing the motion that gender is the determinant on how one saves. You know, it's absurd that up to now, my friends on the other side have not understood the motion. Remember that gender is basically the expectation that people should do or not do certain things because of their sex. So, considering a situation where my mother gives me 3,000 shillings for my pocket money and the same money is given to my brother, remember that necessity varies with gender. And that is what I think my friends are not understanding. What I like, actually, I love the story she gave, because it clearly shows that your necessities varies with your gender. And so you will tend to save differently because you have different preferences. So it's your gender, it was first your gender that determined how you save. So don't be ignorant, because that is what is affecting my friends, ignorance. Secondly, it seems they are ignoring their culture. We are in Africa, and we cannot just sit here and stand and neglect our culture. It's what defines us. You see, mostly men are viewed to be the breadwinners, and mostly they are the ones who pay the dowry. So, is it right to tell me that a man will save equally to a woman who won't pay her dowry? She has to consider factors, and that is because of her gender. That aside, India, for example, women pay their dowry. So the women will tend to save more in India to cater for their dowry increment. So gender is the base of everything. It's what is affecting how you save. The responsibilities you take are based on your gender. And before I hang my boots, I would like my friends to clearly understand the motion, because it's so wrong that they are confusing all of us, telling us that gender is not a determinant on how we save. And beware of false knowledge. It is worse than ignorance. Thank you.
Third opposer, you have 3 minutes to respond to your question.
I myself, I am a prophet, sent to the nature to say that the gender is not the determinant. First, my brother, you said that gender will determine. Gender will not determine. What we are talking about, we are talking that gender is not a determinant. Then what? Both men and women save, but which ways do they save? Joseph Delito from St. Maria Goretti. First, let me say there are the factors that lead to the saving. The first one is is age. You can prove me right. How you save and how your parents save is not the same way. Referring to what? Your age. Some parents save for future, like fathers. You may get your father buying lads and all that. But mothers will for needs. Number 2, we have culture. What will culture do? Some people believe that they are not supposed to save anything. Number 2, some other culture believe that they are supposed to save anything. For example, we have the Kenya double churches believe that they should save everything, while the Niger single churches believe that they should not save anything. When the natural calamities, when we come to natural calamities, in Masai land, we have people who they don't save the same. Why don't they save the same? Because they have different needs. Natural calamities, e.g., hunger. You cannot save the same with the people from Nyeri. Those people require more food. Not that we don't require food, but they still require food, but it is in their area it is limited. So they require more capital. They require to save more for their needs. On Monday, 21st February 2012, Daily Nation, page 9, we find some youth coming up with aims of constructing a library. And they were ladies and gentlemen. So gender is not a determinant. The library is to promote secondary school and also stimulate children's desire to read, the officials said. So the officials say that what they were making the library for, it was for the benefits of both the boys and girls. Are you with me? Yes. Lastly, is to tell my dear colleagues, close off your fridge, come onto our side, help us to strongly oppose the motion that says gender is a determinant.
Proposers, you have 1 minute for final submission.
How I wish we were in Jerusalem, the false prophet. A fool A fool does not see the same tree that a wise man sees. I think I'll lend you my convex lenses so that you can read in the same page I am reading in. Gender is a determinant on how we save and how you see your world. Your primitiveness shocks me. I started, so I'll finish. Gender is a true determinant of how we save. Opposers, stop that carrot games. Thank you.
Opposition, you have 1 minute for a final
I
submission.
think I should start by correcting my fellow opponents. They said that we are prophetess of doom. But myself, I tell you, even Elijah was there. People were against him. Even Moses was there. People were against him. So it is not that you are not understanding the emotion. But the fact still remains that if gender will not determine how we save, then what? It is not whether the women or the men will save more. No. It is the high time, my fellow Kenyans, you understand. Come from fantasy and come and join us. Thank you.
Chinga girls, Joy, you did not utilize your time well. Actually, you seemed not prepared. You ran out of points. You revolved around 1 point. So next time, I hope you're going to do enough research before you come and also understand the motion so that you avoid referring to what you have written down. Michelle, fortunately, you came up and you took it up strongly from where Joy left. You gave a good rebuttal to your opponent, which was good. Your mastery of content was also quite good. Evelyn, I liked your presentation. To me, among the three, you are the best speaker. I also like it that you're able to give us very, very relevant quotes that supported the points that you are making. So keep it up.
Irene, Anne, and Joseph, I like your teamwork. Though, Irene, again, you had also some, you had a fault at the beginning, and especially, I thought you meant, you meant the word inflation and not what, but you offered alternatives of saving. You talked of needs, age, not necessarily gender. Then, Joseph, you're entertaining. I think I remember you from last year. Yes, that is the bit I remember about you, and that is your strength. All the best.
To Our Lady of Fatima, I think the issue here is the motion. The gender is the determinant. And so are there studies that have been done? Yes. I think I can even cite one by the World Bank in September 2002, where they did a research on gender effects on aggregate savings. So I felt there could have been more research, okay, because there was more content to tell us this. However, I want to also acknowledge that you've given in very good submissions. Joy, I think much has been said. My point will be the wallet example was good, but the Chama example was good, but the wallet one was a bit not very satisfactory, okay? So you can get deeper points and better points as well. Well, towards the ending, I thought I should tell you, maybe be nice. You're sometimes can be brutal, okay? So you want to be a bit nice to the people. Michelle, passionate delivery, that was fair. Evelyn, I think you stand out for me. Good answering of questions. You talked about necessity varies with gender, and you gave a very punchy point on ignorance, and I think you are a very good speaker as well. So keep it up and keep that spirit on, all right? To Saint Maria, good teamwork as well. Irene, I think you gave very good examples that gender is a non-issue, and you talked about inflation, age, and as well came in and brought in the angle of other submissions. You want to have your backup sometimes, in case you've left some notes at the back, so you want to carry them so that you do not have the issues that we had on say. This happens, but you want to always get prepared on that. But it's good that you started and came back, and we noted that. Joseph the prophet, I think you're a movement. I think, I don't know what to describe you, but you did very well in terms of the submissions you gave. However, the church examples, they were not validated, but one was strongly validated. You even gave the page of the newspaper, the library example. I think, so there are very huge pluses. Then sometimes you can decide to go off, but it's okay. I think keep up that spirit, and you have a great future, I guess, in these oratory skills. All the best.
Esperanza, will you do us the honor?
Indeed. Chinga Girls High School. You managed to garner 69%. Let's appreciate them. Saint Maria Goretti High School. The judges saw it fit to award you 69%. Thus, it's a tie. Let's appreciate them. Congratulations to both teams for giving us a good debate today.
Ladies and gentlemen, the debate may be over, but the conversation still continues across our social media platforms. The hashtag is GDC for SDGs. We'd also like to encourage every school to implement at least one sustainable development goals that will impact not only your schools, but also your society, so as to make Kenya a better place. I've been your host, Chris Boru.
And I am Esperanza Kapanga. See you in the next episode.